How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing good. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
I said this to Joe, and I'll say it to you. I think this movie and the last one are a lot better than people give them credit for as movies, because I think that a lot of people maybe, once you enter male entertaining, if you will, or it's all of a sudden, it can't be, it's like gimmicky and it's not actually a movie.
Yeah.
Does it make...
It makes all the sense in the world. I think, I mean, I even initially had my reservations when I heard what the subject matter was on the first one. I was like, what? But then I thought, well, it's Channing and Soderbergh. There must be a really interesting world here. And it was really, the first one was obviously had a lot of really serious themes. It was kind of a meditation on business ethics and does your choice of profession determine your destiny? And this film, what they brought to the table was very different, but I thought the world itself was just as substantial and just as rich for character development and a really fun story. I mean, there's so many sequels these days that are really just to make a buck, and I didn't really want to partake in it if that was going to be the situation. When I sat down with Greg Jacobs, the director, and Reid Carolin, the writer, what they had brought to the table was so well thought out and so fun and so original, and to me, so in the vein of a movie like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, which I love, which is this kind of great odyssey these guys go on where they learn more about each other and themselves and figure out what the next chapter of their life is going to be. And so once I saw that all laid out for me, I was really excited to be a part of it.
The first one's a huge hit. It was made for like $1.50 and some duct tape.
Exactly.
And comes into this...
I thought I was a part of this really gritty, like girlfriend experience type Soderbergh film, and then all of a sudden it was a big studio summer release. I was like, oh, more people are going to see me naked than I thought, but this is great. So.
When did you know that the first one was going to be a really big hit and people really responded to it?
I think I knew the first time I saw Channing rehearse the pony number. I knew he was an amazing dancer. And I knew that just who he is and his charisma on screen was great. But when I saw him do that, and I saw his body defy gravity, and I was so thoroughly entertained on a really just audience level, not even let me throw ones, just like how does somebody do that? I thought, oh wow, we really have something here. And then when I saw the commitment he was bringing and what Matthew was bringing to the table as well, and what everybody was bringing in terms of their character, no matter how big or small or how much time they had on camera. I thought, wow, this could be something really special.
One of the things about the sequel is, I would say it's almost a little bit more fun. Mm-hmm. It's just a fun road trip.
Yeah.
How much, when you guys are in the bus and when you guys are just bullshitting by the fire, how much is that in the script versus how much is it you guys actually being friends and knowing the characters?
I think it's a mix of both. I think the script was a really strong template as to what the character choices, what point of view they wanted these characters to have, and who they were. And then it was sort of our job to to really flesh that out and bring it to the table and then get to play in that world. I mean, there were a lot of scenes that we were kind of discovering in rehearsal and changing up in rehearsal right before they called action. And so it was really kind of something where a lot of it was just happening in the moment. And for the first time on screen, we brought our character research and obviously preparation to the table, and then we were trying to just get to play and have fun in that world. And I've been on a lot of jobs where you're getting the chance to do that, and it doesn't really always come across on screen. But my hope for this movie was that all the fun and sort of spontaneous things that we were discovering would get to come across.
I enjoyed White Collar a lot. Were you
Thank
happy
you.
with the way that the show all wrapped up? Because there was a point where it wasn't sure that you guys were going to be able to do that last season.
Yeah.
Were you happy with the resolution and the way things were sort of left?
Yeah, I was really happy that Fox supported us in having a last season and putting that together for us, because I really felt like we'd all worked so hard on the show, and I felt like the audience really deserved the chance to see the characters close out their stories And I was really happy with the way the storyline ended up. It was a fusion of a lot of different ideas we'd all thrown around over the years, and it went a little darker than I thought it was going to go, but I was really, really happy with the way it all wrapped up.
One of the things is, as I'm sure fans are upset or sad that the show is over, but for you and your career, it seems like you're being able to work into some pretty big projects coming up. What are you excited, because if I'm not mistaken, there's Magnificent Seven, there's a few things.
Yeah.
What is it like right now to be able to enter these kind of big pictures?
You know, it's great. It's a dream come true on many levels, and just the opportunity to collaborate with filmmakers and writers and actors that, you know, I dreamed about getting to work with as a kid coming up in the business. It's been a real dream come true, and I've been fortunate. Well, I missed the show. I would love to be doing that as well right now. It's just, you know, part of freeing up my schedule has definitely been the opportunity to get to work on some things that I may not have had the opportunity to had I been filming that 6 months out of the year.
Did you borrow, hypothetically, anything from the White Collar set that maybe is still with you?
You know, I found we were such a tight-knit family over the years. I mean, it really was just the most sensible, peaceful, loving environment on that show. There was never any drama. Nobody ever had any fights. Nobody ever stormed off to their trailer. Everybody was on time. It was just a dream job. So, and I think we all knew that. We all kind of kicked around enough to know we had something special. And so people were really generous at the end. Not so much with the clothing. I think they wanted to, like, sort of, especially Neil's clothing, they wanted to sort of keep for themselves, some for the coffers for later, and I think a lot of things they auctioned off. And but in terms of the set, yeah, we all had in mind some special objects, and I even nabbed one for Jeff Easton that I know he really loved over the years. And so yeah, we all had some really nice things to take home with us that now hang on my walls at home. Jumping into
when you were growing up, what was the movie or maybe the actor that really pulled you in and said, this is something that I want to do? This is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I as a kid, I didn't get to see a lot of secular entertainment growing up, but one of the movies that I did get to go to early on, as sort of infantile as it may seem, was E.T. And it was kind of my first method experience as a kid, because I was so obsessed with the world, and I was accessing my imagination in different ways. I mean, I think I was 5 years old or something when it came out, and not even. And so I was wearing a hoodie and riding my bike around, and it was my first experience of wanting to be a different character, a different person, or live in their shoes.
I'm a huge Shane Black fan.
Love Shane Black.
Huge Shane Black.
Who is not a Shane Black fan?
You know something?
I'm highly suspicious of anyone who's not a Shane Black
fan. If you don't know the name Shane Black, just get out of the room. Just leave.
I mean, Gabe Perry is like one of the most holy film characters of all time for me, and so the chance to have done anything with him would have been a dream come true. The fact that I got to play this really fun bad guy for him was just so unexpected and great, and he is just beyond fun to get to work with. I was going to say, because we've jumped into it, but you got to work with him recently. Can you talk a little bit about who you get to work opposite? Because it's an amazing cast. Shane and I worked together on a film called The Nice Guys, which is really it's really Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe's film, and they are both hilarious and brilliant in it. So it was kind of bucket list across the board on this one. Joel Silver, who I love as well. And I just had the time of my life. I mean, I'm just a baddie who dips in now and then and tangles with those two. But it was such a rich world to get to play in, so I'm really glad I got to do it. Obviously, you're doing the promotional campaign for Magic Mike. Mm-hmm. After that, what's coming up for you in terms of, how does Magnificent Seven, like, what's your schedule like? And also Montgomery Clift. Yeah. Is that something that's still on the drawing board? It's all happening. I have a few more days left on Magnificent Seven in August that I'll go back to film.
I didn't even know it was filming. I'm completely out of it.
Yeah, I've already filmed most of my part in it, to be honest with you. It's going to come out January 13th, 2017. It's obviously about the seven, those guys. It's got an incredible cast with Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt and Ethan Hawke and Vincent D'Onofrio. And there's this girl, Haley Bennett, who I play her husband. She's blew me away as an actress. And obviously Antoine Fuqua has just been like one of the directors I've been dying to work with. So they have something really special going on. I'm really excited to be a part of that. And then I start American Horror Story mid-July, which I'm very excited about that. I'll be getting to work with Lady Gaga and Kathy Bates and Angela Bassett and all these people who I really admire. And then right now we're in the process of writing and developing this Montgomery Clift biopic for HBO, which hopefully will start beginning to middle of next year.
That's awesome.
I'm really excited about that. I'm really terrified. It's a monumental thing to portray anyone's life, but to portray someone who really was a genius and a game changer in so many ways, and to try to do that honorably and honestly is a really unique challenge, and I don't take it lightly, and I hope that we do him proud.
I'm going to end it there and say thank you so much for giving me your time,
Yes.
and hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of the day.